What radio? The music you want.
With your host, Keys Dan.
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
RadioWhat.com. What's up, party people? It's Keys Dan with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous. It's an extension of the internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, I encourage you to go to DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote. It's so easy. You could have me at your event. Yeah, you can do it. Today on the podcast, I have Veronica Foy, the Corrupted V. She's going to be hanging out with me for the next little bit. Yeah. Found her on Instagram. She seemed pretty cool. I think she's out of the Central Florida area. I don't know much more about her. I know that she's got some pretty cool cosplays, at least on her Instagram. She's got really neat designs and just seems like a nice person to talk to. I want to know more about Veronica Foy. Yeah, so let's get into it. Calling Veronica Foy now.
Hello.
Hi, Veronica Foy, please.
Yes.
Hey, Veronica Foy. This is Keys Dan from the What Makes You Famous podcast. How's your day?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Super duper. I've been driving around all day, as usual. That's usually what happens to me. I like to drive all over town, put about 200 miles on my vehicle today. How was your day? What did you do today, Veronica Foy of Corrupted V?
Well, I went to work. My husband also works from home. But I've been crafting all day, doing some cosplays and stuff like that.
Awesome cosplays. Is that what you do primarily all day long, most of the days?
Yeah, most of the days. That's what I do. I do cosplay. I do a lot of armor and a lot of pieces here and there. My husband does too. He works together with me, and we run a company called Cosplay Dames, and it's a brand new website that I would love to tell you all the details about. And of course, he's here with me to tell you more if you have any questions as well. He is the CEO.
Well, the family that cosplays together stays together. That's good. That's good. It's a husband and wife team. Now, Veronica Foy, what's the husband's name?
David Foy.
David Foy. And you run a company called cosplaydames.com. Now, I have been looking at the website, and I'm recognizing a lot of the cosplayers that I've talked to in the past. I see Murder Doll Ivy. She's been on the podcast before. And Poetic Steam Punk Hippie. I don't think she's been on the podcast, but I've been in contact with her before. And I think you know... one of the, I can't remember exactly what her name is. She's kind of scrolling through. So tell me more about the cosplay that you do. And David, feel free to speak if you want.
Well, David's here with me, but definitely, Cosplay Dames is a website for cosplayers, by cosplayers, that we want to bring kind of sort of a platform, an avenue for them to help them make money through bookings by conventions or game designers or anyone that wants to kind of do commissions as well, or if they want to do anything with their sell their templates or do tutorials. They can do that as well. They can sell the prints. They can sell things that they make, like costumes, full-made costumes and stuff like that, in our platform, in our store, which is absolutely amazing. No one has ever done that before.
Well, basically, hey, how you doing? This is Dave.
Hey, Dave.
Basically, we went Hey, we got involved with the cosplay community. I've always been a dork and a geek, and luckily I married one too, so it kind of works out. And going to the conventions, the local one here in MegaCon in Orlando a few years back, and attended a party, and you looked around, and everyone was so great and so nice and so personable, and it's like, these are my people. So we, I've been developing websites for major corporations for years, for 20 plus years, and I saw these people who are fantastic artists, fantastic people as a whole, and they had no avenue to display themselves other than the local social media. And our thing here is, it's not, the cosplay is not just a hobby; it's a really expensive hobby.
Yes.
So I have a background in a lot of business, and what we saw is all these people. There's so many websites divided up where they can actually display their artwork and sell their artwork, and it's all divided up, and it's very expensive, even in fees. So our platform is based on, give them the functionality of the Instagram and the Facebook, but give them the store of the Etsy. But we don't charge them. We're not taking anything off the top. We're 100% besides our, what we get charged for the credit card fee. That's all them. And on top of that, we want to bring. We're in talks with a lot of corporations, a lot of businesses to bring to utilize our site exclusively to hire people for engagements at conventions, as well as where I'm getting in, setting up some meetings now with a lot of the mobile game designers are now looking for ways to promote their product and promote their new games, as they do a lot of sponsorships through YouTube. But now I want to get them hooked up with a lot of cosplayers to have them, bring their characters to life and promote them that way. And that kind of thing, again, I am not a management company. All I want to do is I'm guaranteeing these guys a guarantee, money back guarantee, to come use our site to pick the artists that are displayed there. And I get nothing out of it. I'm not looking for a share in it. I'm not looking for a booking fee. But I just want these people. The community is great, and I want to make sure that everyone knows they're great and give them every opportunity that I'm able to, that I've been exposed to in the past, to give them the opportunity to have that same kind of thing, to get themselves out there.
Now, Dave and Veronica, the money back guarantee is pretty funny because they don't pay anything to be on the site.
Oh, they do.
It's great.
No, they don't. No, money back guarantee for the convention owners as well as the sponsorship.
Oh,
so
I get it.
Yeah, like a guy hires a cosplayer or a vendor to come out, and they disappear. They've never had their booth, or it's just a bad experience. I will guarantee these people 100% of whatever they paid for this cosplayer, whether it's travel expenses or whatever. I'll pay it back to them just because they booked them from our site, even though I'm not getting anything in the booking. I believe in our community that much, and I think that, it's a nothing thing here. Instagram's now got their hidden things where you can buy a couple thousand likes, and that's what a lot of these, a lot of the convention owners are business people. They're not quite sure who's popular, who's not, and they don't know what they're risking, so they use the Instagram likes. Oh, you've got all these followers, you must be popular. So now what I'm going to give them is an opportunity not only to come to a site to see these things and have a guarantee, but also I'm building it's going to be released in our next release, that these convention owners and these business people are going to be able to log in and actually see ratings given to these cosplayers by other convention owners, and have a resume and a feedback system that only this business login and the actual cosplayer will be able to see. There's no trolling. There's nobody going to come through and, any kind of rewards and be able to mess up somebody's rating. This is all strictly for the business end of it. So I just want to give them something a little bit more to go on than just, you've got a lot of people who click like.
I'm hearing in your voice, David, that you're so excited about this. This is great. Now, let's back up a little bit. Wait a minute.
Sure.
I used to dress up in a costume for Halloween, and nobody ever paid me money. How are people making money dressing up in Halloween costumes? It sounds crazy to me.
Luckily, I've got the face for radio, so I do some cosplay, but I've got to wear a mask. So I'm not an illusion, But you got some people who are model material, beautiful model, or even better artists, and a lot of these people are making money by selling prints. Or they're going to the next extreme. I've seen a lot of people go to the Patreon level, and maybe do other kind of modeling, but all cosplayers at heart, and very limited get to be into the spotlight. We all know the Jessica Negris, and we know all the the vamps and the stuff that have gotten to the media mainstream. But there are so many more opportunities that in the corporate world that would be perfect for cosplayers that have not yet bridged that gap or married them together or found a way to introduce them. I mean, look at all these mobile games that are coming out. Look at Fortnite. Like, all these people are cosplaying these video games, and now what about these up and coming mobile games? Game designers that would love a chance to find another way to promote themselves. So, now throw an artist in their midst, a cosplayer who, the game developer throws some sponsors all their builds and promotes them on their site while the cosplayer goes to these cons and wearing the full-on cosplay that they built out of their game to promote the game and bring another element to both parties. And that's what I'm hoping to bring.
That's pretty cool. David Foy and Veronica Foy of the cosplaydames.com. So you're all right. You're both cosplayers. Had you cosplayed before you got married?
No.
It's kind of funny. We actually got this only a year ago, and we're both artists. David and I have gone to both art schools and stuff like that. We both study computer animation. We both have done graphic design. We both have done web development. So it's kind of funny. We just started a year ago, and we're kind of masters at it a little bit. It's become with challenge and learning a lot of things, a lot of mistakes. Our house is always full of foam and stuff everywhere because of all the mistakes we've made. But I think it's a learning process. It's so much fun to do.
It gives us an appreciation for the real artists out there. We're hacks. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. You see some of these things that are just incredible, and it's all being done in basements and garages and bedrooms, and I gotta give them hats off. And if I just would love to find a safe place where these people can be exposed to the world where they're not trying. I'm not trying to make huge amounts of money out of them or screw them out of opportunities. I just want them to. I will find every avenue to help market them, and just because they made me feel a little bit better about it being weird. This is my try to give back to them, and that's I've been in the corporate world. I know how to do this, and so why not?
Yeah,
that's kind of my position.
No, that's what you do. You use what you know to help other people, and that exactly. Sounds like what you're doing. Now,
that's exactly it.
Now, do you always do cosplays that are husband and wife, or do you do individual cosplays as well?
We have not yet done a tandem cosplay.
No, we did Hawkgirl and Hawkman.
Oh yeah, we did Hawkgirl and Hawkman.
I know. I'm looking at it right now. I'm on Veronica Foy's Facebook.
Usually, we actually don't do the couples, but and if we do, we plan for it, of course, in advance, and we talk to each other, kind of do the feedback back and forth. But not really.
No, Veronica doesn't know how to take a bad picture, and all mine turn out like Sasquatch. So it's just, I try to give her spot, and like I said, as long as there's a helmet going on, I'm good. Because I know ultimately they're taking a picture of what I built and not taking a picture of me, because it's startling who doesn't talk to you when they actually see your face. So I'm good with that.
Don't be so hard on yourself, David. You're a good-looking dude.
I know. I totally accept it. I'm good with it.
He is being hard on himself since he just was published in Cosplay Scene at Hawkman. So I'm very proud of him.
Yeah, tell him, Veronica. He's a hottie. That's why you married him.
Well, I just want to be too sexy for my cat. That's my ultimate goal.
Correct. All right, Veronica Foy and David Foy. I thought I was only going to talk to one of you, and here I got a twofer. I love it. It's a good podcast. When the more the merrier, and I'm learning from you. I want to learn about cosplay and how to promote cosplay, and even how to make money doing cosplay. I get to DJ at a lot of Comic-Cons here in Central Arkansas, and I don't consider myself a cosplayer, but I've been told, all right, you're a cosplayer. You have an original cosplay. I'm an OC. So I build my own. I light up my suspenders. I light up my bow tie. I put on the light up goggles, and I put a lab coat on, and I become Dr. What. There's my cosplay.
That is awesome.
Yeah, who are you fooling? That's cosplay.
Yeah.
You're an original.
Original cosplay. So I'm not cosplaying a character that's in an anime or in a movie or out of a comic book. But is that strictly what you do? Do you cosplay only characters that are out there?
No. I actually did a cosplay called Vespa for Future Scope Comic, which is an independent comic book artist. So I am helping promoting him, and soon I'll be doing another one for another independent comic book. So I am reaching out to a lot of people, and Dave is also doing one too.
And to be honest, one of our very first cosplays, we went to Dragon Con, which is huge in Atlanta, for our very first time last year. And our cosplays there, I mean, God, don't wear foam in Atlanta in the summer. Just let you know. But I did. Mine was like a light up, kind of like an alien futuristic soldier thing, because I thought it was cool looking. Yeah. And Veronica has always had this dream of doing this video game called Beta Bridge, and she built it almost looked like the Borg, a cyborg, but she built one of her characters that she's envisioned for the past 5 to 6 years. She's been talking about this. So we do things that, I mean, if it's cool, we will. We think we have a great idea and thinks that it looks awesome, we'll do it. It doesn't necessarily, I mean, there's only so many characters out there, and there's only so many characters I can pull off. So, if something's cool, I'll make it work. Cosplay is not supposed to be, this is your set of rules. Cosplay should be no rules, and that way it sparks more creativity and more imagination throughout the community as a whole. Because if you're just bound with the same, then you're gonna every convention is gonna be a Spider-Man or a Deadpool kind of parade, and we don't like that. I've seen some really some great ones that you never would have thought. I even saw the robotic dog from Rick and Morty.
Oh, yeah.
There's a dog sitting out with a big robot behind him, and there's some of the things that people come up with has been amazing, and that's so much fun. That's the only reason why I go to cons. It's just to see that. It's crazy.
No, I have to agree with you, David Foy. It should be fun. Cosplay should be fun above all else. Yes, if you're trying to make some money or promote somebody, and I want to get into that, Veronica Foy. This is your podcast, and I want you to be able to promote all the people that you're promoting. In fact, tell me more about this comic book that you're involved in, or both of the comic books, or anything else that you're involved in with promoting people.
Future Scope comic book. He's an amazing artist. His name is Jonathan, and he is an independent artist, and he does The Lords of Nevada. That's his new comic book coming out. And I actually ran into him in UltraCon. I went down to Miami to do UltraCon. Me and my husband did. We had a booth, and I saw the character Vespa, and I fell in love with it. And I said, "Can I cosplay this?" He said, "Definitely." I showed him a bunch of pictures of me cosplaying other things. He said, "Definitely." And I asked him a bunch of questions, the colors, anything else. And he is truly amazing. You can find him on Facebook, on Instagram, Future Scope Comics. And you can find me, of course, on Instagram too. All the pictures are tagged. I have professional pictures for Vespa, so that way we can sell the prints and promote the comic book. So when the comic book does come out, we are going to have a special edition with Vespa, me in the front cover as Vespa, and then I'm going to sign it. I'm going to sell the prints and everything else. I'm also doing a character. I don't know which one yet, for Wicked Comics. He's doing a very, very diverse, almost horror as well comic book. He's an amazing person. We met him also at UltraCon. So anyone that has kind of independent or that I really, really like. I've done a cosplay for No Flutter. She's also an amazing artist. She does the cosplays too. She does the cosplay designing. I did Lady Black, which is from Sailor Moon, which is one of my favorite characters as well. So I've done a few, and of course I've always asked the artist's permission, which is, one of the things that I really, really like doing, and say, look, can I do this? Can I have your permission? And, it's just, it's their art, and I want to stay true to, what they envision.
Wow, Veronica Foy, not only do you promote them, but you also, you first of all, you make a connection with the artist and the people that create these characters. And then you help to promote them by becoming these characters. Now, I did go to Lords of Nevada and our Facebook page, and I put a big like on it. So, hey, one more like, yay. But I was looking for the Wicked comics, and there's quite a few pages that are named Wicked Comics. I couldn't quite figure out which one was their page. If you could maybe narrow that down a little bit.
Let me see if I can find it on my phone.
Okay. While you're doing that, I can chit-chat with David more about the business side of things, because it seems like you're primarily into the business. How did you learn business? Did you go to school for that, or what school did you go to?
Oh, God, no. It was all by accident. I'm not going to lie. I went to art. Yeah. I started off at art school.
Which one?
I went to the Art Institute of Seattle. I was out in the Air Force, and this is back in '96.
Yeah, so, I'm from Fort Lauderdale, so I'm very familiar with the Art Institute down there. I was in DECA, Distributive Education Clubs of America, fashion marketing in high school. Yes, I'm a fashion guy. Or at least I was.
There's no wrong. Yeah, well, it's great when it comes along.
What did you learn at the Art Institute?
Well, I went in originally I was going to go for computer animation, I was in the Air Force and I saw Aladdin, which was one of the first movies that actually had a computer animation into it, scene into it when he was flying through this giant lion out in the desert. So I was like, wow, okay, this is something new, I was never one for the whole starving artist thing. So when I found out there was actually, a market for this, I joined while I was going in tandem when I was stationed out in Tacoma. So I went in there and I found out very quickly that computer animation is so boring. So I scrapped that.
Okay.
And then I went to just design and graphics and became good at Photoshop and kind of went everywhere. I did a lot of contracts, and then I'm originally from Detroit area, so I moved back to Detroit and got involved with the car companies.
Wait, isn't that what they do with criminals? Take them to Detroit?
No, that's actually where they were spawned.
Okay, because I've heard that. I've heard that in movies. Yeah. No, are you taking me to jail? No, we're taking you to Detroit. No.
Yeah. Well, it could be, that's where all the Transformers are at, and anytime you want to shoot, post-apocalyptic Russia, that's just downtown, so it kind of works out.
Transformers.
So, but I just kind of got involved with the car companies. My career's been right place, right time, lucky breaks, and taught myself programming, and I've been doing it for Ford, MasterCard. I helped 2 startups, launch, and it's just been a whirlwind, and every day, I've just been lucky to be in a lot of places. So I've been exposed to a lot, and it's been a ride.
Get it, David Foy. Now, where'd you graduate? What year did you graduate?
College was 96.
No, high school. High school was when?
92.
1992. Okay, yes. All right. Well, you're a bit younger than me. I'm class of 86. Class of 86 rules. but no, class 92. You've had some knowledge, some experience in your young life.
Yes.
Which is great, man. And what was the job you did in the Air Force?
I was actually working with the survival and rescue with a lot of the pilots and doing all the survival gear and kind of doing recurrent training for escape and evasion. And it was totally not what I expected to go in for. I really wanted to get into the medical field, so obviously they put me in something that totally was not related. What? And
what's search? Yeah, search and rescue seems like it's kind of like firefighting, maybe.
No, it's kind of like, hey, I just got shot down. They're after me. How do I not get caught? So I'm kind of government trained to help, play hide and go seek. But but for the most part, is a lot of it, working with the night vision goggles and testing parachutes and just kind of working with the gear and making sure that if anything did happen, that everything will be working, and they have, and anybody who was found in them spots or in a place that they did not want to be in, that they had the best chance of making it home.
Well, David Foy, well, I'm glad they had you, but I'm not so sure we should be talking about all this. It sounds very hush-hush.
Yeah.
I could tell you, but I'd have to. Well, you finish that.
Yeah, I have to bore you with some more cosplay.
Oh, all right. So, Veronica Foy, did you find out which Wicked Comics?
Yes.
What's the logo
Wicked,
look like?
Now I found the Facebook.
Yes.
So it's called Wicked Comics 305.
Wicked Comics.
And these guys are amazing. They do have a website called www.wicked-comics.com.
Well, cool. I'll have to have you send me those links on the instant messenger or yeah, and that way I can put all those in the show notes and we can promote all the people that you promote. Veronica Foy and
that'll
David
be great.
Foy. Yeah. Now, okay, you don't have a particular character from Wicked Comics that you want to play, or do you?
Right, I'm narrowing down to 2 because these are a little bit more complex. They're a little bit bodysuits and stuff like that, which have a lot of material on it. So I'm trying to figure out which one I'm going to do. And they look really cool. So once I am done with the current one that I'm doing.
Now, you're in the... which one are you doing now?
I'm doing Sheeta. She is actually the villain for Wonder Woman 1984. That hasn't come out yet, the new movie.
What? Spoilers?
Wonder Woman, yes. So I did a little bit of Google research.
That's pretty cool.
And they confirmed that she was going to be the villain. So I thought, she looks badass. I really like her, and I'm going to put some armor into it. I did some research on who did it on DeviantArt, and I'm going to do a full version of that. I'm going to transform myself into a cheetah.
So that's exciting. Fun. Cheetah. Now, yes, I did hear rumors about that when Wonder Woman first came out, really, when they were talking about sequels in the initial, and they mentioned Cheetah as one of the possible villains for the sequel. And here you go, confirming it. We're getting knowledge from Veronica Foy right here on the podcast. I love it. Now, okay, well, you're in the Orlando area, correct?
That is correct.
I lived in Orlando in 94, 95. I think it was just around the time that Kurt Cobain died. And I remember that was a big event when I was living there. And I was DJing at a place on Church Street. I think, was it called The Edge? Maybe it was called The Edge. I don't know. Do you guys go out and party on Church Street still?
No, well, sometimes it depends. If we have time, yes. But usually, no. We're just so busy with cosplay and everything else. And
I get it.
We have 1,000 kids, but we do have
1,000 kids.
That's our running joke. We actually have 7 in the house in total.
Wow.
David has 5, and I have my 2.
That's great.
So yeah, I know, it's kind of fun. Plus, our phone is considered children now because they're everywhere and they're a mess.
But you have a lot of people that you can test out your cosplays on. Do they get into it as well?
They're starting to, little by little. The youngest one, of course, wants to have all the bodysuits, the Wonder Woman, the Supergirl, the Catgirl.
Yes.
So, yeah, I usually take their measurements. I'm starting to learn how to sew. So, all those little bits and pieces to, of course, make them happy.
Yeah, all the kids see mom and dad dressing up. I'm sure they want to dress up, for sure.
Yeah.
So, all 7 or just the smallest
just
ones?
the little ones I like, and I like the little the dressing up.
Yeah.
The older ones, we have a 19-year-old who graduated from college.
Hey, hooray!
Business certificate, which we're very proud of her. We have a 17-year-old who is going to culinary school.
Wow,
in the fall.
I like to eat.
We have a 14, Drake. He's autistic. He's amazing, super smart.
Yes.
11, which is Tristan. 10, which is Dante. And 8 and 9, which is my daughter Jay. She just turned 9. I keep forgetting that she's 9 years old.
Great.
And then Talon is going to be turning 7.
That's
a couple
so
days.
good. Now, okay, yes, 7 kids. Do you call them all by the wrong name from time to time?
Usually no. I'm very good with
Wow.
that. Dave is the one who gets confused all the time.
Hey, I have one, and I call her the wrong name. So, in the house, I have 2. Well, one of them is in the Gainesville area right now. Yeah, you. I know you. You live here. I know who you are. I will find out what your name is. No, this is great. Now we're talking parenthood with the Foys. I got Veronica and David Foy, the corrupted V. Tell me about that.
What do you want to know?
How did corrupted V come about?
Who it was David's idea to call me Veronica or V, and then I actually wanted to have a cosplay name, but I didn't want it to be like Veronica cosplay or Foy cosplay. I wanted it to be like something different. So I was like, well, you're always corrupting me or corrupting other people. So I said, well, there you go, corrupted V. I can corrupt the world, I guess.
All right, David
with my
Foy.
point of view.
Is Veronica a bad influence on you?
Well, can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Is Veronica a bad influence on you, David?
That's what's a big debate. It's okay. I'm kind of like the influencer, but I'll say something in jest, and I'll usually whisper it in her ear because there's civilians around.
Sure.
And then she's the one that actually ends up like doing it. I'm like, it's like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? And then gets us in trouble. So in the end, if she brings the attention to herself, I have to say, yes, definitely, it's all her fault.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you could be the idea man, and then she's the creator. She's the one that puts it into action. Is that right?
Yeah, that was a good way to. That is, if we're not under oath, yes.
Oh, okay. Don't worry, it's just us. Nobody else is listening. Possibly millions of people could be listening.
Yeah. Yeah, she's definitely the pinky to my brain.
Try and take over the world, do you?
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Let's see if you can do one of those. Okay, if you're the brain, what are we going to do today, brain? Go back and forth with that and see what she comes up with.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Are you pondering what I'm pondering, Veronica?
Yes, Dave. I am pondering that you're going to eat some ice cream.
You're horrible. Oh, yes, brain, but where are we going to find rubber pants at this time of night?
We will definitely work on that. I suspect that the Foys will be doing a pinky in the brain sometime in the future. That would be an amazing cosplay.
We do so many, like we're so funny. We do so many interpretations and so many back and forth comments, and sometimes he doesn't know I'm recording, like our conversations.
Yeah.
And I play it back. And I'm just laughing the entire way. I show it to my friends, and it's hilarious.
For sure.
We have a character called Fajita Juice. That's another story for another day.
No. It's a story for right now. What is Fajita Jude?
So this is one time that we went to Taco Bell, and we're just playing around with our food, and it was during holiday mystery, and he just took his finger in the tortilla, and then all of a sudden started making this Mexican accent. I'm Fajita Juice. I will eat all your blah blah blah. And I just started recording this, and this is the most hilarious thing ever. Now we have we own the URL for fajitajuice.com. Okay, which is come up with the craziest things ever. And no one believes this is us 24/7.
No, you could be working for Taco Bell soon. Maybe you'll get a lifetime supply of the Bell.
Oh, no.
Oh, that'll be amazing.
That's the worst thing you could do.
That would be amazing because I love food, but Dave diets all the time, so we complement each other very well.
I eat all the stuff I want.
Oh, okay. All right. So who's more of the health nut in the duo of David and Veronica Foy?
David is.
Okay.
David is a health nut.
Okay. And do you
He makes
exercise
me go
often?
to the gym.
Okay.
He makes me diet. I love food. And
Well, but do you resent it that much, Veronica, or is he making you a better you?
I think it compliments me. We compliment each other a lot, and we motivate each other a lot. So I think he makes me a better person always.
What she's studying says she's not telling me when she's going out to eat, so she's. I find the Taco Bell wrapper stuffed underneath the chair, so it works out in the end.
Hey, whatever you don't see doesn't hurt her or
exactly.
You.
It didn't happen. There's no video.
Oh, you didn't know. Oh, that's right. That's right. No pictures, pictures, or it didn't happen.
What the hell?
Okay, well, that's good. I'm sure you both have your own strengths and your own weaknesses and your own ups and your own downs, but it seems like you have a perfect match that helps each other. Yeah. And I like that you're cosplaying together and you're building this business together with the Cosplay Dames. Now, why Cosplay Dames? Is it strictly for women?
Actually, no. We are going to be. We also own another URL called Cosplay Multiverse. The reason, but we bought that one after Cosplay Dames. So we've been a year with Cosplay Dames promoting it, pushing it around, and eventually we are going to transition into Cosplay Multiverse because we talked about it and everything else. But anyone can join right now, since we are going to transition it into Cosplay Multiverse. The reason why we chose Cosplay Dames is because one of our favorite movies is Captain America, and he's always portrayed the women into dames, beautiful women. So it's more of the old-fashioned way to do things.
I like that. I like that a lot. I like the word dames anyway, because it does throw back to a simpler time. And Grandpa always says that was a simpler time. Oh, you mean war? Yeah. You mean famine? You mean the Depression? You mean... when alcohol was banned? Well, what was the good old days, Grandpa?
I guess it was more of the chivalry, more of the value, more of the family, that's what I wanted to portray as more of the trust and the family and the honor.
People's words meant it was their bond, and
yes.
They held good deals. If you look past all that Al Capone and mafia, right. All the other people,
I'm still feeling like it's the Hollywood romantic image that's being portrayed. Exactly. And yes, I'm with that. I'll suspend disbelief and watch an old black and white movie and just say, yeah, that was love. Look at that guy. He's all dressed up and she's all dressed up and she's cooking in a dress. Really? And then he comes home from work and he's all suited up. Really? Honey, I'm home.
Yeah. That we've tried to do that in real life, it just doesn't happen.
Wait, I know this is a podcast. It's not visual, but you are in your suit and tie, correct, David Foy?
Well, I always believe that you should dress for the job you want. So, of course, I have my Superman shirt on. I've got my Spider-Man hat on, and I've got just regular shorts because. Again, I also want to be a bum, so it kind of all fits. Well,
I see you got the Superman and the Spider-Man, so that plays right into the cosplay. Was it multiverse, you said?
Yep. Yeah, I don't think I own a shirt that doesn't have some kind of superhero logo. Being over the age of 40, that just kind of goes hand in hand.
That is cool, and the gang.
Yeah.
So, Veronica Foy, do you also sport a lot of superhero shirts and hats? And other wear?
Yes, I actually have a Wonder Woman. I love Wonder Woman, so I have a Wonder Woman wallet, a Wonder Woman logo in my keychain. I have tons of. Since I'm making the cosplays now, I have them all over my floor right now as we speak. I have a Death Knight on my floor. I have Vespa on the other side. So yeah, I do have a lot, and we're getting more mannequins so we can display them. So that way we can maintain them, which is also another thing that you have to do as a cosplayer. You display your work, especially the ones that you've worked so hard on.
Yes. Now, you touched on something that you like the Wonder Woman, and yes, that's the big one. Like for a man, maybe Batman, Superman, those are the big ones. Do you feel like there's a limit on how many women cosplays there are, or are there any limits, or is it harder to do it for a woman or for a man? What do you think?
I think it's challenging for both because there are different body types for women, and it's not, for me, it's more the craftsmanship. I like creating my art, and for me, there could be 1,000 Death Knights or 1,000 Harley Quinns or 1,000, Catwomen, 1,000 Wonder Women. It just depends on how much time they put in, and if they look wonderful in it. But yeah, sometimes it could become repetitive in a convention.
Right.
I've got to put my 2 cents into this.
Please.
I think women have a much more of a gamut to be able to cosplay whatever. There's always the female Spider-Man. There's the female version of Batman. There's always the female version, but the male version of Little Mermaid, I'm sure it can be pulled off.
Yes.
Just not by very many people.
Right.
So I've seen it done. I've seen a lot of good gender bends and where the men have pulled off great, but they do it as females. You don't really see too many male versions of a female character, whereas the female will try to pull off the male version of the male character. So so I think overall the women do have a lot more of a variety and a choice to play, whereas men, some can cross that barrier fairly easily. Like me myself, I usually don't want to. I only cosplay people like characters that I can somehow identify with, that are pieces of, like, whether it's my personality or whether I understand them or identify with them in some way or another. And that kind of limits myself. But I've seen there's not too many people that have, as the males, have been able to pull off a female version, female cosplay, strict and portray it. You don't see that very often.
No,
the ones who do. The ones I have seen have done it really well, though. I mean, my hat's off to them.
Oh, I would have to agree, because your masculinity would be called into consideration if you do a gender bend. Although I did have a cosplayer named David Stackable on the podcast, and he does Tina Belcher, and he is completely straight, but his Tina Belcher is so amazing. It's so funny, and he just did it one time, and people loved it.
Yeah, and that speaks volumes about why we love the cosplay community. You go in there, and there's no judgment. They're looking at your craft, and they're amazed. I've seen it was Captain, one of MegaCon. It was like a half Jack Sparrow and half.
The dress.
They had a dress on it. I forgot what he was crossed with, and he had so much attention in the detail.
Mira, I think it was half Mira.
It was half Mira, half Captain Jack Sparrow. Mira from Aquaman, and it was the way he did it was amazing. And there's no judgments going on. There's no part. A lot of people wanted to line up and get pictures with them, and that speaks volume of the kind of the community that we're trying to get back to. Because there's very little hate. There's very little smear. There's very little people calling people in masculinity into question, like you normally would think in regular society. And now the only limitations usually in that aspect are their own personal, getting over that hump. Like, I know I have my mother's hips. I can't fit into that thing. So it's just
you and me both, babe. You and me both.
Yeah. So but in the long run, once we can all fully as people get over that barrier, I still think that women have more choices. So as always, the girl's always taking your shirt. Your wife's always wearing your something.
I look better in it.
I can't fit into a pink little T-shirt. It's just.
You would have to agree. Veronica probably does look better in your shirts. I would say. But by the same token, if you grabbed her underwear and started running around, I'm wearing your no, it doesn't have the same. Yeah. No, I don't think so.
That's a whole other website.
Yeah, a whole nother podcast and a whole nother website. You're right, and I'm sure you might. Well, I guess if you get asked to be involved in designing that website, perhaps, maybe, probably not. All right, having fun with David Foy and Veronica Foy. I thought I was just going to be speaking to Veronica Foy, and I got the hubby. Bonus. bonus. We got a twofer.
We're kind of a unimind.
Here on
Actually, also, David wanted to talk about one of his more recent ones. I think he was promoting one soon. No, that's a secret. Still a secret.
No. It's your podcast. Do it. Tell all.
Not yet. He will reveal it soon, though. So stay on his Instagram, which is Asgard Armory.
Asgard. Oh, wait. Are you doing the Asgardians of the Galaxy?
No. His Instagram is Asgard Armory.
Oh, okay.
But he will reveal it as soon as he is at least halfway done, or quarter done, or mostly all done.
All right. So
he takes months. He takes a long time to create his creations. So.
All right. So we're going to go back and forth a little bit. Tell me about the first cosplay that you did, Veronica Foy.
Well, oh my God. It was actually a Wonder Woman. I did Wonder Woman, and I created out of yoga mats. And that was the most, I'm laughing because it was the most ridiculous material ever. And I used all the hot glue that I can think of, all the barge, which is the contact cement that I can think of. And that thing still broke. It was horrible because of the heat. Oh. It was in Tampa Bay Comic-Con. We went last year, and we're going back again to celebrate our first year of launching the website, going into Tampa Bay Comic-Con, which was last year's first year ever. And we both cosplayed. Separately, he did a Batman, and he did a Batpool because he dressed as Batman, and he had a Deadpool mask on, and I did Wonder Woman. But mine stripped in the middle of a convention, so I had to get I had to get a scarf and hide it, and it was all horrible. That was all a year ago, and now I'm so proud of myself to come such a long way to create this character coming back. I'm bringing my Death Knight, which is a World of Warcraft character. I used to play World of Warcraft a long time ago, so it's one of my favorite ones. So I'm kind of recreating some of my favorite pieces that I want to kind of put in display and mount it in my house so I can have it as a trophy.
Yeah.
Yay!
Well, it sounds like your first cosplay was an adventure.
Yeah, it was a disaster and a half, but I learned a lot. I learned that better materials, more. My cutting was off. Everything was horrible. But, you get to learn from your awesome experiences. And I think to this day, even though it was not such a great success, I think it was one of my favorite ones because of the actual texture in the cosplay was all it looked like rocks. So it looked like it was forged in a mountain. It looked like copper. It looked really nice. That's why I picked the way it looked.
Very cool. And since you started cosplaying together, I'm guessing that David was also at this same convention. And what were you dressed as, David?
Just asking were you dressed as the convention type of?
My first convention. Wow. We were 2 weeks out from starting with when we were watching videos, and I actually would download a pander, and it was for a Batman Arkham Keaton Batman. It was a half from the Arkham Knight and half from the first Batman with Michael Keaton.
Right.
And I just did the chest, and it's a pattern from Sean Zing, and his last name. I gotta say his last name because he had patterns on Etsy, and his videos are priceless on YouTube. If you want to follow along, that somebody who's really skilled. His last name is Xieng. First name Sean Sean. But so I found him on YouTube because this is after the MegaCon party I was telling you about, where we decided that we adopted all these people as our people. Yes. And we started doing this YouTube. We're going to find out how to do cosplay. And I threw this together, and it was the night of Tampa Bay. And we decided the night before that we'd drive, because we're near Orlando, hey, let's just go to this con. And because Bronca's was completely done. And I was just sitting there staring at this Batman chest that wasn't hardly ever done. I'm like, okay, so we stayed up till 3 a.m. the night before we were supposed to leave. I painted the bat symbol red and threw on a store-bought Deadpool mask, and that was weird. I mean, I hate cameras. I mean, I shy away from cameras like the plague. And once I threw the Deadpool mask on, people were stopping me to ask for pictures and telling me I had a great job, and it was surreal. It was weird. I think I had more pictures taken of me that day than my mom has taken over for my entire lifetime, which was just, it was weird. It was just odd. But yeah, I had a Batman chest painted red with a Deadpool mask, and that was it.
Do you see, David? Do you see? You're your own worst critic. You're hard on yourself, and it was awesome. People wanted to take pictures with you.
I took off the mask, no one talked to me, so I kind of liked it. So I was able to sneak back in anonymity just by taking off and removing the mask, so that worked well for me. So the thing is it speaks well to people. It speaks well to these conventions, and you haven't been to these conventions. You see the atmosphere is just, it's electric, and it's so much fun to go to them and just mingle and just see everybody. So I loved it. But that was my first cosplay.
See, now you're touching on something. When you put on this cosplay, do you feel like the character that you're in? Does it change your outlook, your disposition when you put?
I don't feel like the character, but I feel like somebody else. Though,
yes,
definitely, it's not me. It's not the person who's just trying to stay in the background. And when they're stopping you, and you can't take a couple more steps without someone asking you to take your picture, and it's just, you feel like. I feel so much gratitude because I know they're appreciating what I've built and my artwork, and it's almost like a live gallery, a live artist gallery that I'm sitting here wearing my artwork and getting that immediate reaction, that immediate feedback, and you owe it. To me, I feel like because of stopping me and taking the time out of their, they spend money to go to these cons and they can see a million other things, and they want to stop me and took the 2 minutes out of their time to take my picture, then I feel differently. Like I to try to give them the pose and give them the picture that other than being my usual don't look at me self. So yes. You become more confident. You become somebody else when you put on that mask, and it's great. It feels awesome. You get to be the alter ego you always wanted to be.
Yes, you do. Now, Dave Foy, we talked about your artistic beginnings at the Art Institute, and how did Veronica Foy get her artistic abilities? What school did you go to?
Well, I started in Miami-Dade Community College.
Me too.
Back in 2002. So not so long ago. But I did computer animation. For quite some time, and then kind of left school for a little while and came back and did some graphic design, but for Full Sail University. So I stayed with them for a little bit. Yeah. And then I eventually, of course, life happens. Got married, had kids, and
hey, don't sound so down about it.
No, it's great.
Yes.
But I didn't have time for school, so I had to work a full-time job. I've worked for customer service most of my life, Best Buy, Geek Squad, Best Buy Mobile. So I did a extensive career in customer service. So I've done everything in between. But I've, of course, continued my artwork always. Yeah. So when, of course, I met David, I had the opportunity to go back to school, and I was had gracefully graduated from Media Communications from Full Sail University last year.
Wow. See, I did Connecticut Schools of Broadcasting. I always thought of Full Sail as more prestigious. I did it down in Miami. See, I'm from Miami. So how long did you spend in Miami?
Most of my life. I came here when I was 9, and I lived in Miami for a while.
From where?
Since from Venezuela.
From Venezuela?
Originally from Venezuela.
I'm Cuban, half
Born
Cuban.
Born and raised. My stepdad is Cuban. So my mom brought me here to have a better opportunity, more, of course, the American dream.
Yes.
Better schools, more opportunity, which I have. It was absolutely amazing. And I've lived in Miami from the age of 9 to at least 25. I've moved around to Charlotte, then back to Orlando, then down to Miami, then back to Orlando. Kind of always coming back to Orlando because Orlando has always been less expensive than Miami.
Yes.
A little bit less popular, but still has all the attractions and stuff like that.
Yes, indeed.
So I kind of made it my home after a while. After I had the kids and stuff like that, I kind of moved back because it was more affordable for us and it was better, and it had all the attractions. How can you say no to that?
Yeah, I feel like we chewed a lot of the same dirt, Veronica Foy. Now, how did you meet Dave Foy?
We actually met online.
Cool.
It's a kind of funny story, but when we did meet each other and got to know each other, we realized we have a lot of things in common. A lot of the background is almost the same. So we get along really great.
That is beautiful. I like it.
It was the perfect match.
Yes, and we're learning about Dave Foy and Veronica Foy, the Corrupted V, the Cosplay Dames, and soon to be the Cosplay Multiverse. Is that the new URL?
Yes, Cosplay Multiverse. They will be converted most likely after 2 to 3 months afterwards.
Yeah, we're just in the process now. We're just now in the process of launching. We just worked out the bugs. It's been a long journey. Every time I went to launch it, we thought of another great idea, another partnership. So you know how it is. It turned into one of my cosplays that's never finished. So we figured that we're going to launch it, and I already have version phase 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 already planned, and so we're just trying to get through phase 0.5 right now, and we're gonna. A lot of it's gonna make it. Ultimately, I want to give it the atmosphere of almost like a convention, where you have you see when you go to the conventions, you see all these vendors that have amazing stuff that you can't find in stores, and then afterwards you can't find them. So, but and then play until the next time. So, I mean, one of those things is I want to see these cosplayers. I want to see these vendors. I want to be able to bring, be able to be found in one location. So you're going. So that's ultimately the feeling I would love to have people walk away from our site is that this is just like a convention. I'm sitting there talking to people that I see all the time. Hey, look at I remember him at the vendor. Look at all this stuff. Looking great. Let me order it. Or hey, look, I haven't talked to this guy, and oh yeah, that's his website. Okay. I mean, I know your show is what makes you famous, and I think ultimately, I was just thinking about that, what that means to me. I don't want to be famous. I want to be the guy that makes other people famous.
I get it.
I mean, I think that was what makes me me.
I get it. See, a lot of people read the podcast name in several ways. RadioWhat.com is the internet radio station that I've been running for a while. And I was thinking of a podcast name, and I said, well, I have the Radio What, and what makes you famous? So it's either what makes you famous, which you can answer that question, and I believe you already have, that you want to make other people famous, but it's also Radio What, making you famous, more famous by letting the world know your story. Dave Foy, Veronica Foy.
And we're so appreciative of this opportunity. This has been great. And we're very blessed, and thank you so much for this.
Oh, I appreciate you. And I like to learn about people, learn from people, and promote people. I got into radio just for that. And you're talking about getting your website perfect and settling on names and making sure that things go. I'm Keys Dan. I'm living in Conway, Arkansas, but I kept the name from the Florida Keys because that's where I primarily grew up and built the DJ business and even the early stages of the internet radio business. And I enjoy promoting people, and you are people. And you not only promoted yourselves, but you also promoted other people that you work with. So you've given your podcast already to other people that you already been working with, and that says a lot about you, Foy family.
Well, I don't know if it's just like I said. We're both people that we recognize that people's work right off the bat on a daily basis, and Veronica has been known to go up to complete strangers and is like, "Well, I love your shoes and I love your dress," and with no malice behind it. And I guess in the female world, I found out afterward that's rare. That usually it means something catty or something. I don't know. Females are so complex. I try not to I'm barely getting through life now. So, but the thing is just everything we always say and do. I mean, we're genuine, and we've always have been. And a lot of people read that wrong. And just like you, when you're devoting your time and your own thing to help be genuine and to help other people, because that's what you want to do. You know, it's hard for some people and a lot of people to recognize that as not as ulterior, some kind of ulterior motive or be on the guard and the kind of hopefully with what you're doing now and proven where you're promoting other people, you're bringing them people know that there are these resources that are out there to help them and to let them be them and to, you know, not be so guarded. And that's ultimately the best thing that we could do for anybody, whether it be cosplay or the regular world, to know that it's just like, you know, that there's people out there that know that you're not on your own and recognize you for you. So that's why this has been so great. You know, just talking with like people has always been, it's so hard to find, and it's so much fun to find and talk to when you do get the opportunity.
Well, Dave Foy and Veronica Foy, I do have ulterior motives. I like to have conversations with people, and not only online, but you know, even in person and on the phone. Having long form interviews or long form podcasts gives me the opportunity to dig into people and find out what they know and have an actual conversation with someone, and not just put a like on their picture or add them onto Facebook, which I already did. I added both of you on Facebook, so I'll be stalking you.
Thank you so much.
I'll be looking you up from time to time and making sure that things are going good and finding out more about your cosplay. Now, since the beginning when Wonder Woman and the Batman, I think I've looked through Dave's pictures on his Facebook, and I found where the chest plate that you were talking about. And Dave, you're built like a brick house, man. You must work out constantly. What up with that?
He works out a lot.
She did tell you how many kids I have, right?
Yes.
Some of those are daughters, and I really don't feel like owning a gun because, you know, some of them are daughters in women's wrath. So to protect myself, I just try to work out so I don't have to do anything. But the funny thing is I would never hurt a fly.
Yeah.
So I just have to look the part. I figure so that I didn't have to act the part.
All right, my man.
When somebody comes to pick up my daughter, I just want them to look at me and say, without me saying a word, and then say, yes, sir, I'll have her home at 10.
That's correct. That is correct. My man, Dave, you say you don't own a gun. I'm looking at the picture. No. You own two, baby, left and right, okay? and it's good that you found each other. That's beautiful. You're both beautiful people, and I've had a good time talking to you. Anything else you want to tell the people of what makes you famous?
No, that's it. I mean, check us out and give us an opportunity to bring you a little piece of us.
Yeah, and the thing that makes us famous is that we want you to know that we want to help you guys make you guys famous. And come to our site, and we'll do, you know, send us an email, a DM, Instagram, whatever you want to get. We're going to respond, and we're going to do everything we can. I mean, that's who we are. That's how it should be.
Well, right now it's the cosplaydames.com. Where else can they find you? I guess Veronica.
They can find us they can follow me in Corrupted V in Instagram or cosplay_dames in Instagram. I have a Twitter as well, which is at Dames Cosplay. Because they can have it the other way around. Kind of mad. Or my Twitter account is also Corrupted V as well. So, or the website, or they can write us an email, dames@cosplaydames.com.
Well, so make sure you send me all those links on the Facebook, and I will put them on the show notes. And Dave Foy, how do they find out more about you?
From Veronica.
That's what I tell people. If you want to keep a secret, don't tell me, because I'll tell everybody right here on the podcast or anywhere. I'm a blabbermouth.
I mean, you can all those emails will reach me too. But you can also, my Instagram is Asgard Armory. You can go on Facebook. It's Dave Foy. It's not that I'm the one with the foam. I think I have the picture of me in the Thor vest.
That's correct.
Yep, one of the two.
That's what I'm looking at.
You can add me there, or you know, that's the best way to get a hold of me, and I'll definitely get back. You know, I've got so many I always get so preoccupied calling myself a specialty programming. It's always best that, thank God, Veronica has my ear. So when somebody does want to get rid of me, and I don't respond right away because I haven't checked anything, I forget which day it is, Veronica will tap and remind me. So either way.
Yes.
Well, I've had a pleasure talking to Dave Foy and Veronica Foy, two cosplayers hanging out in the Central Florida area. And it looks like you know a lot of the cosplayers that I've been in contact with, and I'm very appreciative that you gave me the time and let me know more about you on What Makes You Famous.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having us.
Veronica, any last words for the people?
Have a wonderful night.
And Dave, last words for the people?
Keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars.
That's a perfect way to end. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I thought that would bring us both back.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, there you have it, party people. I thought that I was going to be talking to just Veronica Foy, but I got the hubby too, Dave Foy. Yeah, I got a twofer, and I learned a little bit more about cosplay, about their cosplay, and about how they're promoting other cosplayers. Good on you. Good stuff. I like it. He's got business backgrounds. They got artistic backgrounds. And I like that Veronica was from Miami, or she's been in Miami. I miss the hometown sometimes, but maybe a little reminiscent. I get a little misty-eyed. But yeah, very happy to talk to Dave Foy and Veronica Foy of the Cosplay Dames, and soon to be Cosplay Multiverse.com. Yeah. And just promoting cosplayers, men and women, and making sure that they get together with, they're going to make it into a little convention online. I like that idea. I'd like to see how it comes to fruition, and I'm sure they're going to make it work really well. I see Dave is a perfectionist. He wants the website to be perfect before he launches it. And I know it's never perfect. It's always going to be improved on, but he wants to get it as perfect as possible. And that's going to help all the clients, all the cosplayers and the vendors and anyone else that wants to get into this online Comic-Con, so to speak. So cosplaydames.com and cosplaymultiverse.com. Check it out. Thank you so much, Dave Foy and Veronica Foy, for being on the program, What Makes You Famous. If you want to tell your story, I encourage you, give me a call at 501-470-6386 or email info@radiowhat.com. That's it for this installment of What Makes You Famous. It's Keys Dan, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.
Radio What, the music you want. Hey guys, this is Shelly G with a fast fact. The first televised sporting event was a Japanese elementary school baseball game, broadcast in September 1931. Do you have a fast fact? Share it with us at Interactive Radio, RadioWhat.com.
Follow Keys Dan on Facebook and Twitter. Click on the links at the top of keysdan.com. Follow Radio What on Facebook and Twitter. Click on the links at the top of radiowhat.com. The music you want is on.